Look, man, it's your boy. Today I wanted to try something a little different. We're gonna talk. We're gonna yap. Gonna yap it up real quick. Not for too long. I ain't gonna take too much of your time. Just to keep the video short, concise, digestible, however you want to describe it. We're going pre-recorded. So that's an adjustment for me. But it'll help me not go off track and do everything other than what I plan to talk about in this particular video. So more so like just jump into the topic. GTA 6 is $100 and I don't like it. I think that's just where I stand with it. And it's crazy because I think my first Grand Theft Auto was Vice City, and the first one I completed was San Andreas, and at that point I was hooked. Like, to me, Grand Theft Auto's always been like peak gaming, right? Not in a sense of perfection, but more so in the way that it allows the player to get like an everlasting experience out of it. And I think that rings true for a lot of the people that do play Grand Theft Auto. A lot of kids, you know, we wasn't supposed to be playing that when we was children, but even for adults, like I think the average gamer is like 35, but it rings true for a lot of people because a lot of people don't have the luxury of buying game after game after game. You know, 60 to 70 was a leap. 60 in general was always pretty critical at you know, especially for, you know, the less fortunate. Now, I do say this to highlight the fact that Grand Theft Auto is a game that one singular title can provide you with limitless hours of entertainment, right? Now, for the people that do play GTA and enjoy the series, you probably already know this. This is probably a big reason why for a lot of people GTA might be their reason to upgrade a console, or they're one of the few cops that they get, you know, throughout a console's life cycle. And I think at this point we all know that Grand Theft Auto is not cheap to make. I think that goes to show with how long it takes for one to come out as of recently. It's probably like the last 3 entries. Now I think the point that I'm trying to make here is that we aren't the only ones that have noticed these trends, noticed the outcomes, noticed the play times. Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two CEO, has also noticed it. Now, in a not so recent interview, I think he been said this like prior to like the first trailer for GTA even coming out. Zelnick was like, in terms of pricing for any entertainment property, basically the algorithm is the value of the expected entertainment usage, which is to say that per hour value times the number of expected hours plus the terminal value that's perceived by the customer in ownership if the title is owned or subscribed to. And you'll see that bears out in every kind of entertainment vehicle, which in so many words means y'all need to start paying for y'all motherfucking time on whatever y'all are on. Now, while Strauss said it out loud, I don't think for a second that he's the only one that feels this way. A lot of companies have been chasing the live service hype for some time now. Sony acquired Bungie, as well as trying to make literally all of their single player games some type of live service model, as well as Xbox fighting that long hard battle to acquire Activision. Everybody's just trying to make the next thing that'll generate money over time. GTA Online itself lasted literally over a decade with people. It's consistently in the top 10, top 20 selling games of the year every year. So like I don't think I'm the first to say this, but the race seems to have turned from making a quality franchise to one game that you can consistently update, consistently add content to, and consistently have it generating money. And now I will say that's it's not a bad business model if you could, you know, get it done. I think the big issue that we're having today is that every game doesn't need to be this. And I also think a lot of companies aren't taking into consideration the fact that there needs to be a lot of capital set prior to starting a live service game. You need to be able to at least wait for it to become sustainable, so you need to sustain it. And then also you got to account for slower months, maybe a slower year, updates, maintenance. It's so much that you need to be able to consistently dump money into it. You like take Fortnite, right? Fortnite is, I think that's Epic's only game. There's nothing else that they need to really develop other than improving Fortnite, right? So it's like COD, Activision, strict, they don't make anything else anymore. So it's no more of the movie tie-in games, the platformers. It's just Call of Duty. So they could dump every dollar into Call of Duty. And then the way that Call of Duty works is you already have a successful multiplayer shooter that people pay for. Then Warzone's free. So not only do you dump the money from the microtransactions for Warzone back into Warzone, but then you also dump the money and assets you get from regular Call of Duty into Warzone. I don't like that most companies are trying to do it. It's not sustainable. To say the least. If you could do it, the more power to you, but for the most part, most people can't. Most companies can't. It's an idea killing the industry off, not only from a sense of it's hard to sustain it, but also the fact that it's rewiring the way that a lot of players' brains work. A lot of people are under the impression that a game is supposed to have a gazillion updates, that a month without some new content means the game is stale, or that you're supposed to spend your life in one game, and you're catering towards an audience of people that don't get off the game. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their hobby, but it's just the more that you sift through this group of people, there just seems to be a lack of financial discipline. And I think that's what's killing a lot of the industry as a whole, is just overspending. Consumers not realizing the power in their dollar. And I don't mean that in a way of how the activists on Twitter and shit be for whatever cause they feel like they're going for the week. If you don't like something, don't play it. I'm specifically talking about if you feel like you're not getting the most out of your dollar, stop paying for it. It's the same way as how the 2K community will complain every year but then spend $150 on VC. Why are you consistently dumping money into something that you obviously don't like? I just don't think the excuse could be, well, it's the only type on the market, or I like it. You don't have to necessarily spend your money on it. And I think that there's a valuable lesson that needs to be learned by consumers about the way that they're viewed by the entities they lend their dollar to. It is strictly consumer and provider. It's nothing more, nothing less. You're simply a cog in a very big machine, or it could be a very small machine. I don't mean that in some evil villain type of way. In lamest terms, they're providing you a service. You're lending your dollar to obtain said service. And I guess to expand on that, I don't think there's anything wrong with brand loyalty. If you feel like you're getting what you want out of something and you want to keep supporting that, then that's completely up to you, and you have every right to do so. Over the past few years, there's just been this incline in customer dissatisfaction, but there's just not enough. There's not enough of a decline in consumer spending, and I'm just I'm not rooting for any company to fail by any means. I am rooting for people to be more aware of where they place their dollar and just have some restraint. Now, I guess to get back on topic, because I'm kind of like running all over the place a little bit. I'm buying GTA 6. Now hear me out, right? There's no excuse. There's no excuse for that, and I'm understanding of that. But I waited 13 years for Grand Theft Auto 6, and for me this will be the only time I ever do this. I've never bought like a deluxe edition, ultimate edition. We cool with the standard. What we get is what we get. If I enjoy it and they drop some DLC for whatever game, I'm gonna cop it. But for the most part, I keep it right there at the base. And that's simply because a lot of ultimate editions, a lot of deluxe editions, they just give you currency, packs, whatever, skins. It's unnecessary for me. I know I'm not gonna buy another $100 game if it's not Grand Theft Auto. And I guess that's where my take gets a little controversial, because I can see it a little bit. I can see what Strauss Zelnick is trying to say. In some aspects, I feel like if you were to do it properly, I wouldn't mind paying $100 for a game that you plan on dropping like one every like 5, 6 something years, and I'm gonna get quality content. Like I easily would have paid $100 for Red Dead 2, but that's just me. And you could have your interest if you like the Final Fantasy series, or you like whatever the fuck CD Projekt Red's gonna put out, or you're a fan of FromSoft, or it's all subjective. Nah, but like all jokes aside, like if we're just gonna be honest, a lot of companies aren't coming with the quality, care, passion that a Rockstar Games comes with. And I won't speak for the online mode. I'm honestly just talking about like single player, like GTA to Bully to Red Dead to Max Payne to like, come on now. Like we know Rockstar, honestly. Like I wouldn't do this for a game of lesser stature. And that's why I say it's all subjective, and that's why I'm a hard believer in do what you want. At the end of the day, I just want to promote people to be aware and confident in the decisions that they make. Like, convenience kills, and I feel like we're in a place where people are just kind of addicted to spending, you know, no matter what it is. It's just right in your face. It could be at your house in a day or two. It could be honestly usable right then and there. And I think that a lot of people are just consistently falling for the trap of buy, and you don't got to do that, man. That moment gonna happen with or without you buying it for you or Twitter or YouTube or just to say that you were there. If you ain't the biggest fan of fucking Grand Theft Auto, what are you paying $100 for? It's all up to you at the end of the day. And I just wanted to get my thoughts on the whole, you know, situation. And we was all over the place a little bit, but you made it this far. I appreciate you for staying. And drop your thoughts in the comments or whatever. And look, man, I love y'all to death. Peace.